Hello and good evening from the Tullys on the Vestal Parkway. Happy 2024 for everybody. It is the first Tully's Good Times with Coach show of the new year. My name is Brooks Hill, voice of the Black Bears. To my right, your left on the screen. And for everybody here inside the restaurant is head coach Brant Sherwood. It's been about a month since we've been here at Tully's due to the Christmas break and the new year and team scheduling and so on and so forth. But we're excited to be back for 2024. Be on the lookout for new upcoming dates for the remaining Coaches Show schedule for this year by visiting binghamtonblackbears.com, and we will post the dates as they are finalized, and we are all squared away here. We do know that the next show will be on January 23rd, so if you're already watching from home, make plans to come out here on January 23rd at Tully's. We have a very special guest already lined up. He did commit to it 2 weeks in advance, so I'm going to hold him to it every single day until, the cows come home that, hey, you already said you were going to do it, so he's going to do it, hopefully. But we're going to go ahead and jump right on in. It's been a little bit of a weird month, a lot of home games, a lot of road games, some weekends with one game, some weekends with 3 games. We've been going up and down. Pennsylvania into Connecticut, moving all the way around.
Bouncing all over the East Coast, Brooksy.
Yeah?
I do like those one-game weekends, though. It's nice getting a Friday night off, except when a few of your players get called up and you gotta send them packing to Fayetteville.
Yeah, that was a unique situation. Me and you talked about that at length, and for everybody who might be just a little bit behind, fill you in, before the 8-1 victory on Saturday night over the Motor City Rockers, Binghamton had defenseman Matu Boilar and forward Justin Somro called to the SPHL's Fayetteville Marksmen. And after a quick trip up to the Canadian border real quick, the guys drove through the night to make their way to Fayetteville, slept all day until they needed to get to the arena for pregame warm-up, stretching, and the pregame skate and all that kind of stuff. And they played at 6 o'clock that night, and both the guys recorded 2 shots on goal in that game as well. So we're happy for them.
Tall task to do, driving through the night like that. You can't really expect too much from their play, but I'm sure they played with a lot of passion and heart like they normally do.
Yeah, it was also I thought it was very funny. They get called up on a specialty jersey night. It was
I didn't even notice
that. It was Harry Potter night. Oh. And I think Matu was telling us when he was on the show, he watched Harry Potter in French. So he
must have been in a Slytherin jersey. I'm taking it.
Probably.
Smerrill seems like a Hufflepuff guy.
And to this day, I still haven't seen one of the movies all the way through. I've seen the Quidditch scene. That's my favorite one.
Oh, it's one of the best. It's a classic. Good time at Christmas. Not as good as Home Alone, though.
Oh, yeah. Or Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
That's another.
Heard that was Trevor's favorite movie.
It's a fantastic movie. Good choice, Trev.
Yeah. Also, when we're doing office trivia at lunchtime, it's always Trevor's guess for the movie question is Home Alone 2.
I'm always spot on for those, hey?
Yeah, you've helped out a couple times.
Dropped the ball, a few others.
Yeah, sometimes you guess with so much confidence that we just fly blindly into it, and it's an immediate disappointment.
Yeah, trick everyone in the group.
Those NFL questions sometimes can get you. You don't read it all the way through, and then you read the question after you get it wrong, and you kind of feel like an idiot sometimes.
I felt like that a few times up there.
Well, it's it goes around. Everybody has their moments. Our star actually here today was a hockey question. So let's see if you can guess this one.
All right, let's go.
All right, Hall of Fame center played his entire career with one franchise until the 2010-11 season when he played for the Red Wings for 1 year.
Mike Madonna.
That is correct. It was Mike Madonna. There you go.
You guys could have used me today.
There we go. I got that one. I got that one. Because
Yeah.
he was ring chasing because the Red Wings had been to 2 Cup finals in a row against Pittsburgh. They won one, and then they lost to Pittsburgh in the other one.
That was a fun couple of years seeing those teams battle it out.
So, that's neat. So, a one-game weekend this past weekend for the Black Bears. We talked about it in the Tully's pregame coaches corner in our pregame interview about how it shifts your schedule a little bit, push everything back one day because you gave the guys an extra day off coming off 3 games in 3 nights. But a first and second place showdown that really from the get-go, after the first goal, went the entire way of the Black Bears. And what were your thoughts going through your head behind the bench on Saturday night?
Just like first period, it kind of looked like a team that didn't play Friday night, and the other team looked like they just came off an overtime win. So I felt like they just had a little bit more jump, and then we really prevailed in the second period. I think a lot of our offense started from the D zone by coming up the ice together, good puck support, and then our power play came up huge. So just an all-around great effort, good team buy-in. Bryce Farrell jumping in the lineup for one game and bringing a physical presence, and then Jake Schultz stepping up with 4 points as well. So Connor McAnonama, another guy, just shutting the door on the back end. We gave up quite a bit of 2-on-1s, which you don't like to see. If you want to give up odd man rushes, you want to give up 3-on-2s more so. Mm-hmm. But overall, great effort by the guys, and I loved our second period, and I loved our shutdown in the third.
Yeah, second period, Black Bears score 4 goals. So that put them at 6. They had 2 more in the third period as well. One thing that I did mention during the intermission between the first and second period is you guys were out shooting Motor City 22-9, and it was a 2-1 game at that point after 20 minutes of play. I personally felt, and I don't know if you felt the same way, I felt that all 9 of Motor City's shots were good quality shots, and McAnonama made great saves on 8 out of 9.
Yeah, for sure. And like sometimes you're giving up some of those grade A's by, I guess pinching or thinking offensively, and then you get those odd man rushes. So you do want to stay on the gas, and you do want to pepper the other goaltender and make them feel uncomfortable in their zone. But sometimes you get caught a little bit. So you got to make sure you reload above the puck, and you're back checking, and then our D are having a count on the blue line and making sure we don't have numbers behind us.
Well, you guys definitely peppered the goalie. Let me tell you about that. Rico Gonzalez made, I believe, 55 saves. So if you don't count the 8 goals, that means you guys were able to put 63 shots up on goal. I think if my math is correct, right there. So 63 in 60 minutes.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And we've been doing that consistently for a few weeks, a lot at the beginning of the year, and it's awesome. And that Danbury weekend, we kind of experienced some bad puck luck, but the opportunities were there, and it was fun to see the boys capitalize on Saturday night.
Yeah, I don't think some people fully comprehend the puck luck scenario, and
hockey's a weird game.
It is.
It's a weird game sometimes, especially playing in Danbury. There's a lot of things going on over there.
Yeah, and you never know how the puck is going to bounce off a pane of glass or a dead spot,
or the
on the
clock
boards.
stopping, or anything can really happen.
And you just really, I'm trying so hard. Yeah, I'm trying so hard.
You can laugh, Brooksy. It's all me.
I know. You never know how it's going to bounce off you never know how it's going to bounce off the post. Like Oliveri's goal or no goal that was reviewed by the officials. That puck is probably an inch to a centimeter away from bouncing down into the net instead of bouncing out. And it's just
100%. And then you can have a goal like Fletcher's the other week, where it bounces off the glass, lands on the net, pops down, banks off the back of the goalie. It happens, and sometimes you got to chalk that up. And I think that's what we did with the Danbury week. And it's like, hey, every team's gonna have their day, and if we're still playing well and doing good in the D zone and getting those grade A's, then we're in pretty good shape.
Yep, and we're going to talk to Josh Fletcher later on in tonight's show. One thing that he was joking with us in the office the day after when he came up to ask our friend Bobby some questions about some merchandise.
He's up there a lot, huh?
Yeah,
What's he doing up there?
he's just hanging out. He's having a good time.
Trying to swindle some deals?
No, he's a good one. He just likes to check in every now and then, and he does like to talk football with EJ a lot. So
They going back and forth?
Yeah, they go back and forth. But he was saying, I just really wanted to, that was my Wayne Gretzky moment, and I was like, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah,
And
please do.
He was like, yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and he's like, that's the first
There you
time
go.
I've ever shot, not hit the net or the goalie, and scored a goal. It just bounced right off the glass, and
Sometimes you got to shoot.
yeah.
So start listening to the fans. When they yell shoot, you better start shooting.
That's always that was always my biggest pet peeve. Is shoot, you're on the power play, shoot. If you shoot and you miss, sometimes that puck goes
sometimes
out.
it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it works. Most of the time it doesn't.
Yeah.
But people will understand that a little bit on. So we talked about the Danbury weekend. We talked about Motor City. This past, get off the beaten horse a little bit. I know we're going back to Danbury this weekend for a Friday night, Saturday night matchup. And then they come back to Binghamton next weekend for a Friday night, Saturday night contest inside the Vision Veterans Memorial Arena as well. But, we got to catch everybody up what's been going on around the holiday season. I know you had a pretty eventful Christmas day. And you got to go to the Philadelphia Eagles game on December 25th. What was that like?
So it was quite the experience. I thought it was going to be a lot harsher than what I experienced, but it was awesome. It was such a fun day, and those fans get rowdy, and it's hard not to hop in and start yelling at the New York Giants, even though I'm truly not a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but you end up buying in and you get into the environment, and it's a whole lot of fun, and I couldn't ask to spend Christmas, in a better way.
Yeah, it's really exciting. You got to spend some time with your fiance and some family. I got to spend some time back home in North Carolina as well with my parents.
You got to
and
warm
my
up
friends.
a little bit.
I did. And tell you what, after having pneumonia for a couple of days and being in the hospital, some southern weather and 60 degrees and shorts was kind of exactly what I needed.
It's a rough holiday for a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff was going around, and it was in our locker room too, but happy to see you back and healthy, Brooksy.
I appreciate it. I hate that I had to miss a couple of games. First games I've ever missed as a broadcaster for any of the organizations that I've worked with, but thanks to Alex for filling in for me. He did a great job, and we're glad that he's back on color while Cole was back on Christmas break. We're see Cole this weekend a little bit in Danbury, and we'll have Alex back as well. Hopefully we're going to get the rinkside reporting going again here in 2024. I know a couple of the guys were actually asking me about it. He's like, are we not doing intermission interviews anymore? They actually missed it or something. Normally I can't get the guys to do an interview to save my life before a game, but it's like, we're not doing the intermission stuff anymore. It's got to be like something about being on camera.
I don't know. I
think
think they missed you. I think they missed you and Alex and Cole. So they just want to see more of your face down in the locker room, Brooksy.
Yeah, players only down there.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yes, that's very true. Very true. My favorite joke.
Yep. So, we're very thankful that we at the Black Bears were able to have a good holiday season. We hope you and your families were as well. Hope you had a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day celebration. Got to watch some great football games, NFL and college. It was great. Got back, transitioned into hockey. Missed a couple of beats, but now we're smoothing back into the transition. I feel like I'm back to 100% recovering on the broadcast. The 3 games in 3 days, not only was it hard on Coach Sherwood and the guys, but it was also hard on me too.
It's hard on the whole organization. It's tough to do 3 games in a row, no matter who you are. It's a busy office, busy locker room. It's busy all around. Bus driver as well,
Yeah.
Jock. He's
Shout out Jock.
He's working hard too. So it's an all-around effort from everyone.
Yeah, so just remember that. Next time you come up to the office, everything like that, whole team organization, small group doing a whole lot, not only on the ice, but the people upstairs. They work a whole lot harder than I do. That's for sure. So tell them that you thank them for their help, you appreciate what they're doing, and you're glad that Binghamton has a hockey team, because that is the number one priority here, and we're here to entertain the fans. So with that being said, we have something that's very exciting coming up on January 27th. Our friend Josh over on the ones and twos is getting ready to pull it up on the screen for everybody watching at YouTube. And I don't know if some of the TVs in here are playing it. If not, it'll be on all of the social media for the Black Bears here. But it is the Hart Cup night. Binghamton Police and Fire will play at 3 o'clock for their annual one-game matchup of the season. So we're very excited to have Police and Fire from the city of Binghamton participate on the ice before the Black Bears take on the Elmira River Sharks. And it is First Responders Night, which means it's another opportunity to get your hands on a Black Bears specialty jersey. It should be on the screen now. Josh tells me that it is. So our good friends Josh and EJ did a great job designing these. Once again, Josh did excellent on last year's design. EJ switched up a couple of things here, but it's got police, fire, other first responders. There's so much on the jersey that I have already forgotten everything about it. But screenshot it, pause the video right here. They look great. These will be auctioned off live after the game on January 27th. That game is at 7 p.m. Binghamton against Elmira, and it's First Responder Night. So go ahead, grab your tickets now, binghamtonblackbears.com. It is our next specialty jersey and our only one for the month of January. We have one coming up in February as well. We're locking in the details on that, but the jerseys have been finalized, and we're excited to share that with you next time that we're at Tully's as well. So big thanks to everybody on the design team process for getting these new specialty jerseys on the way. First Responder Night and Hart Cup, January 27th. Now, we got to turn our attention to what's directly in front of us, and it's 2 road games in Danbury, and it's a part of a 4-game series against the Hat Tricks here in the regular season. This is 12 points over the next 2 weeks, and by the time we come back to Tully's, it could be at even ground, could be further ahead, could be a little bit tighter in the standings. So, Coach, I know that you've already looked at it one way from your eyes, but if you could shed a little bit of light on how the Black Bears are approaching not only this weekend, but the next 4 games of the season, because they are of utmost importance.
Yeah, we want to take all 4, plain and simple. I'm pretty hungry for this one, so I expect the boys to be hungry for this one. Definitely a little payback after losing in overtime in a shootout. So you know, it's good to get some points out of it. But I just think we're a much better team, and we need to show them what we're made of. So we're gonna bring a physical presence this time in the Danbury, and we'll have a good F1, be hard in the corners, hard in front of the net. But other than that, yeah, we're looking to get all 12 points.
Yeah, 12 points available up for grabs with 4 games coming up. These next 2 are on the road, Friday night and Saturday night against the Danbury Hat Tricks. And Binghamton with some players up in the SP, Danbury with some in the SP, some on suspension as well. And something that I think has flown under the radar, I certainly missed it until today. Apparently this was enacted a couple of days ago and went right over my head. But there are a new couple of rule changes that are going to be implemented mid-season. I know we talked about it a little bit before we got on the air, but in case anybody hasn't seen it, you can view these rules in length on the league's website, federalhockey.com. There's an article on the homepage. You can click on it and read the entire document. But, Coach, if you can, just summarize from what you got, what you heard, and kind of give us the Spark Notes version of what is changing going forward for the second half of the season.
I'm going to try to watch what I say on this, because I really don't like the rule changes mid-season. I think it kind of makes makes it look not great. I'll just kind of leave it at that. But
yeah.
like whenever things are going wrong and there's complaints and stuff, you gotta live with the bed you made. And these are rules that should have been established over the summer. Yeah, they changed it. So, you know what? Any rule changes, the Black Bears are going to focus on the Black Bears and focus on what we can control. So, it is what it is. Like, if a player gets multi-game suspension, the coach is going to get suspended as well. So that leaves a team without their head coach behind the bench because of a player's decision. And I really hope we think about the long-term consequences of this. There's so many different things that could happen. A player you could have one of those wild cards on your team that end up doing something that you never condoned. For example, shooting a puck into the bench, leaving the bench. Like, obviously a coach can try to do his best to not have the player leave the bench, but if, they can be slippery sometimes. So, I don't know. There's a bunch, but I do like the one where they established the rules for suspended coach being able to go in the locker room 5 minutes before and address the team in between intermission. So, like, those things need to be noted, but I don't think we'd need to be so drastic with the changes. So they did add another IR spot, which is awesome, but it was discussed with the 19-man roster that they're going to face problems like this. What happens when two players get injured on a weekend? Is a team going to roll in short? And then another one of the rules is when a player's suspended, the team suffers and has to sit out a guy. So I don't know if that's the best look of having a short bench for the fans, for the league, and you know what? We'll roll with whatever they decide. So we support them, and it is what it is.
Yep, I think that's a professional answer. You explained how you felt and did it in a very fair way. Brought up some good points for the good and the bad. And one thing that kind of makes me, I'm happy about the extra IR. Like, I'm happy about the extra IR spot.
Of course, yeah, that great decision.
Because I don't know how much you get to spend watching other games that don't really pertain to the Black Bears. I try to keep my pulse on the league as I do get to vote in, league awards once we get towards the end of the season. And I want to make educated picks, not just guessing and just go by stat sheets. But, a couple of weeks ago, like, Carolina was playing Columbus, and Carolina only played 12 skaters. And
it's
like,
a very important game. It's 1 versus 2 in the South, and there's a lot on the line. So it's just like, it's just not a even playing field. It's
Yep. Once I found out that Carolina had 12, quite frankly,
It's pretty impressive, the score. It was 5-3, I think, or something like that. And it's like, well, Carolina hung in there shorthanded like that. But it just puts an asterisk on things. I really think we should be mimicking the league above and the league above that league and just not trying to be so different, I guess.
I understand what you're saying. So we'll move off the new rules. We talked about this upcoming weekend. Obviously, Coach Sherwood, his team, looking to get after the Danbury hat tricks this weekend, pick up 3 points at the Danbury Ice Arena, which they have already done this year. Every time they've gone to Danbury, they've been able to go out with a point, and that is the best so far in franchise history. Granted, Binghamton will play more times in Danbury this year than the previous 2 years, so take that with a grain of salt, but you guys have been able to.
I don't think we won in Danbury before I got here. I'm almost positive.
I would have to check on that. I can't.
Little humble brag there.
Can't confirm nor deny.
I believe our first one, Gavin Yates delivered a really good speech because he was really sick and tired of losing in there, and he let everyone in the room know. And we came out with a good overtime win, I believe.
That's
that
good.
Night.
I'm excited. It's good to hear from people like Gavin, like, leading the way. I know I'm talking about last year, but there's a lot of guys in the locker room with tons of leadership qualities.
Big time,
obviously, you can't give everybody in your locker room a letter, but there are plenty of guys who are deserving of wearing a letter, and if they weren't on this team, they would probably be wearing a letter for a different team.
100%. That goes for like our third line as well. Like I call it 3 second lines or 3 first lines. If any of those guys are quote unquote on the bottom of the depth chart, which we don't like to look at it that way, they would be a top line on any other team. So yeah, we're doing a good job, and I love these boys, and they all have great leadership qualities.
Yep, 18-2-5 on the year. That is first place in the Empire and first place overall in the FPHL. We're almost at the halfway point. I believe by the time we finish this weekend, we will officially be in the second half of the FPHL season. 56 regular season games and then the playoffs to follow immediately after the conclusion of the regular season. Coach, we'll talk to you on Friday from the Danbury Ice Arena for the Tully's Coaches Corner. But we want to thank you for coming down tonight, enjoying some food with us, a good time as well, and we will see you Friday.
Hey, make sure we bring a space heater for that interview, all right?
All right, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cold down there in the other locker rooms for that interview. Got a little cold, got a little goosebumps on me last time down there.
Well, we'll have some fun, Brooksy.
Oh, yeah.
Andreas is taking care of us, too, letting us go down early and get settled in so we can focus on hockey when we get there.
Oh, yeah. All right, so that is head coach Brant Sherwood. We're going to take a quick timeout, be back, and we're talking to one of the forwards for the Black Bears. It's number 81, Josh Fletcher, coming up right after this.
Fans, the Black Bears are back in town on Friday, January 19th and Saturday the 20th for a weekend showdown against the Danbury Hat Trades. Don't wait and get your tickets ahead of time by visiting binghamtonblackbears.com. Can't wait to see you there. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube.
Wanting more Black Bears hockey? Season tickets are on sale. Visit binghamtonblackbears.com or call the front office at 607-722-7367 to learn more.
Fans, the Black Bears are back in town on Friday, January 19th and Saturday the 20th for a weekend showdown against the Danbury Hat Trades. Don't wait and get your tickets ahead of time by visiting binghamtonblackbears.com. Can't wait to see you there. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube.
Wanting more Black Bears hockey? Season tickets are on sale. Visit binghamtonblackbears.com or call the front office at 607-722-7367 to learn more.
Fans, the Black Bears are back in town on Friday, January 19th and Saturday the 20th for a weekend showdown against the Danbury Hat Cranes. Don't wait. Get your tickets ahead of time by visiting binghamtonblackbears.com. Can't wait to see you there. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long at home and on the road, free on YouTube.
Wanting more Black Bears hockey? Season tickets are on sale. Visit binghamtonblackbears.com or call the front office at 607-722-7367 to learn more.
Fans, the Black Bears are back in town on Friday, January 19th and Saturday the 20th for a weekend showdown against the Danbury Hat Cranes. Don't wait. Get your tickets ahead of time by visiting binghamtonblackbears.com. Can't wait to see you there. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long at home and on the road, free on YouTube.
Wanting more Black Bears hockey? Season tickets are on sale. Visit binghamtonblackbears.com or call the front office at 607-722-7367 to learn more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Tully's Good Times Coach Show. We're now joined by a Black Bears forward, Josh Fletcher. He is a native of Calgary, Alberta, up in Canada. We're very glad that he could be on the show here tonight. Josh, thank you for coming on. And, you know, we're about halfway into the Black Bears season. How do you think it's gone from a personal perspective for you and then the team perspective as well?
Well, yeah, getting halfway through the season almost is pretty important, and it's been a successful ride for our team so far. We're a well-oiled machine, just constantly building team chemistry and working each week to get better as a team has helped us in the weekends when we have to play the games, and it's just not really flipping on a switch or anything. It's just playing games, and it's working for us. And then personally, it's been bigger step, jumping from college hockey to the Fed for sure, and it's been enjoyable. It's a bigger platform for sure, and the hockey's only having 3 lines compared to 4 is a lot more faster. You're getting a lot more ice time per night, so it's been a good ride, and being in Binghamton's probably the best thing I could ever ask.
Yeah, I think you are a unique player because you score sometimes in the funniest of ways. We talked about your Wayne Gretzky moment before you got up here with Coach Sherwood. For your first 4 goals of the season were all against Danbury.
Yeah.
Weren't getting credited with any assists, so you were just, you'd labeled as a puck hog
Exactly.
a little bit. But now you got some assists to go on the stat sheet with it and scoring against some other teams as well. But I think it's really cool that not only you score throwing the puck right off the glass is like as physically hard as you can. That's kind of So when I shoot it, it just hits the glass and falls down. You shot it so hard that it went off the glass and then back to the goalie on his backside. So that's pretty neat. But you also have some good celebrations as well. Where does this inspiration come from with the cellies after your goals?
Well, you got to have a whole bunch of cellies ready for every goal. It just depends on the moment for sure. But talking about a notable one, the first one at home was probably a tougher one for me. I just got so excited, kind of just ran into the boards, hit the visor on the nose, and had a nosebleed from scoring a goal. Never thought that would happen either. But
Okay, so a very special surprise for everybody back at home, and we're going to play it here on the stream real quick. So this is Josh Fletcher's first goal coming up at home. We have it from 3 different angles, one time in super slow motion as well. So Fletcher scores the goal against Danbury on Thanksgiving Eve, wearing the Night Ranger jersey. It's a beautiful pass from Gavin Yates, finds Josh Fletcher, and Josh will go full steam in. Talking about like how you have to have a couple of cellies in your back pocket, ready for the moment. You see Josh absolutely face plant into the boards, and you can see the visor cut his nose and starts to have a leak a little bit on the way through. So, Josh, you're going to lean forward just a little bit. There you can see it. So Yates centers it over. Fletcher scores, bam, right into the boards. Might have given yourself a concussion right there, too. I don't know. And then we're going to see it again here from the reverse angle, or excuse me, low angle, and then now slow-mo real quick. Bam. Look at the recoil on the back of your head when you slam into the wall. That's
it happens. I was just excited to get one at home, and I didn't know what to do with my hands, put them up in the air, and I didn't know how to stop either, apparently. So
it's like Luis and Mighty Ducks 2. He just doesn't know how to stop.
No, exactly.
So that's pretty neat. I love watching moments like that, especially for guys like coming out of college, playing their first couple pro games, and at that point we've been playing for about a month. Getting your first goal at home is very big. Get to hear your name over the loudspeaker. You know, Frank Prane does a good job. Scored by Josh Fletcher. And then, woo, everybody in the crowd gets excited. Quickly turning into a little bit of a fan favorite.
Yeah, no, exactly. Getting my name known a little bit. But
yeah.
Talking about celebrations as well, Kirkby's had a lot of good ones this year. The selfie one with himself on the boards. Yatesy's had a few good ones as well, full ice celebrations. So I have a lot of competition when it comes to best celebrations, so we're going to have to come up with some more creative ones for sure.
Well, I was watching practice today, and I forgot to ask Brant this, but really seemed like one of the better Tuesday practices you guys have had this year. It was very hard, I thought, very competitive, a lot of contact. Saw a couple people hitting the ice, some good hits being thrown around, but nobody celebrates goals in practice quite like Tyson does.
No,
And I think sometimes he spends more time thinking about the celebration than he actually does shooting. Care to comment on that?
Well, when you're scoring as much as him, it's kind of hard to come up with a new one every day, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You have to have a lot of practice with them. So
That's the good teammate answer, everybody, from Josh Fletcher.
no, exactly. But in like shootouts and stuff like that, we try not to. We put a no celebration rule on it. So.
Yep. I've seen that, seen people get right back in line because they celebrate a shootout goal, even though some of them are very nice.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, folks, I know people on Facebook like to talk about practicing the shootout because the Black Bears have not had too much success with it this year. It's a fair criticism, but they do practice it. I witness it multiple times a week watching practice. The media, when they're there, they see it. When fans are there, they see it too. So it's being talked about sometimes. Like Coach said, puck just doesn't bounce your way. All right, so you are from Calgary, Alberta.
Yep.
You have a teammate who is also from Calgary, Alberta, and Dan Stone. And you guys have taught me about some of the ways of, I don't want to say, is it what do people from Calgary call themselves?
Calgarians.
Calgarians?
Yeah.
So they have this saying called bird of beef.
Yep. No, exactly.
All right, so explain to the people at home what bird of beef is.
Well, it's kind of, I don't know, just be a better quality steak, I guess, more tender. fat's more pure. It has a better taste to it. It's we're just kind of known for our steaks out there. We have a lot of cattle farms out in Alberta.
Okay.
And grass-fed, no hormones, just good Alberta beef.
So you would say, as cattle, livestock, it's like comparable to like Texas.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
the United States. Calgary is that for Canada.
Yeah, the Texas of Canada would be Calgary, I would say.
So, okay, so like, I know it'd be hard to say that oil is probably the number one export from Alberta, but would you say that like livestock and meat would be number two?
It'd be running up there. I would say like it wouldn't have like the most quantity in Alberta, like Canada, of course. That'd probably be Saskatchewan or Quebec for sure. But when it comes to quality, a lot of people would argue with you that Alberta has the best beef. So
okay.
And then in hockey terms, it's kind of a running joke between me and Stone. It's just that Alberta beef toughness to you. You know what I mean? That Westerner toughness.
Tough guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, tough guys. So. Hopefully we can plug that in on the broadcast. I'm waiting for the Dan Stone to Josh Fletcher connection during a game one time because I know you guys would be excited, and I would be equally excited as well that I get to say bird of beef on the broadcast. So
for sure, we'll have to get something cooking for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully you can get something going this weekend against Danbury. You have a lot of goals against Danbury this season. Seems to be a really good place for you to play. You've done really well over this year. You fly around the ice. That's one thing I've noticed. You know, I don't think I've ever seen like what a 90% or like a 75% shift looks like for you. I feel like anytime I see you, it's 1,000% like dead sprint, carrying the puck. Even if you don't have it like in your own end, you're on the PK, you take the face off, and then you're going like full sprint, almost like you're running like a suicide, going from point to point, back to the middle. All that kind of stuff. So you got a lot of heart. I've noticed it, got a lot of hustle as well. But is that something that you've always like prided yourself on?
Yeah.
Like in the college game, back in juniors and youth hockey?
No, for sure. I was going to say that's something that probably carried over with me through, like from college. I did a lot of penalty killing in there, and I just noticed a lot of success came from putting an overwhelming amount of pressure on a power play. Like a lot of the time you're on a power play, you think you can have a little bit of extra time and space with the puck, but if you have a penalty killer who's going to be coming at you, taking that away, makes you make decisions faster, which leads to more mistakes. So I like to carry that over into this league as well, and it's been working so far. And not just that, it sets an example for others to kind of follow in the penalty kill as well. If holding a box or holding the diamond isn't really working for us, they can switch into gears and put pressure on, and know when to put that pressure on is important as well. And when it comes to like 5-on-5 shifts and that as well, like I've just always been F1, F2 type of forward, so that take pride in getting in there fast. And it's the same kind of thing with the penalty kill. I'm just trying to take away time and space, and it takes a lot of energy to do that, but it comes out rewarding a lot of the time. So
yeah, you know, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but technically you have the only shorthanded goal of the season for the Black Bears, correct?
Yep, it's an empty netter, but it still counts.
Oh, we were gonna leave that part out.
But
it still counts the same on the score sheet. It says a shorthanded
exactly.
goal.
It was an impressive empty netter, that's for sure.
It was. I think you were on your knees and shot the puck
it was
from
like
the blue line.
Kind of like a 180 like turnaround as well. So
yep. Oh,
chop
okay.
that one down.
Yeah, excuse me. So what was it like growing up in Calgary, well, in the youth hockey scene? I know we talked to a lot of people in the States, you know, Coach Sherwood growing up in the Rochester area. Last year we talked to Jake Schultz about the same thing. Also another Rochester guy here tonight, Sam Levecchi, as well. We talked about their youth hockey experiences in the States. What's your youth hockey experience up in Canada?
Yeah, it's probably like kind of similar, I guess, to what you would have heard before, but it's a competitive scene up there. You kind of have your own community, like at least in Calgary, what it was like. You had your own community, and then there was quadrants within the city, and you'd have to make their teams. So it was like playing AAA and AA hockey was a little bit of an extra effort. That's like where the travel comes in and the extra time at the rink. That was a lot of big thanks to Mom and Dad for that. But
yeah.
like it was, I don't know, I find like it's kind of tough to compare it to the like youth hockey in America. Being around it growing up, it's kind of grown the same as Canada's was, but just ultra competitive. And then going into juniors as well is another big step, and juniors in Canada is a really big scene there.
Yes. When you were playing youth hockey, did you ever do any tournaments in the States?
Yeah, I did a few. I played with the Canadian Wolves, and we did and Southern Alberta Selects back at home, and we did one in Chicago. I know we did one in Las Vegas, and I did one in Minnesota as well. So
Okay.
those are notable spots I can remember from when I was around 7, 8 years old.
All right. What hobbies did you have as a kid besides playing hockey?
Well, I played baseball for a little while, and then
All right.
when I went into spring hockey, I had to give that up. But my family was always big into like going on the boat, so we did a lot of wakeboarding, surfing behind there.
Oh, okay. So you're a big water sports guy.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
exactly.
See, you learned something by tuning into the Tully's Good Times with Coach show. So, based on what you said, I assume that you are a wakeboarder rather than a water skier.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. I did wakeboarding one time on the automatic thing, like like a
Yeah. The
pond. Yep. I think
Cables.
they were making fun of me. The guy doing the controls. It's kind of like how Jesse Anderson told the guy in Winston-Salem to turn the mechanical bull all the way up when I got on it,
exactly.
because that thing just dragged me as long as I could hold on to that thing. I never really got up,
Yep.
and sometimes they just...
For a guy that's seen a lot of people ride bulls, you did a really good job. I
Thank
saw the
you.
natural hand go back. You had a good posture for it.
It really set the tone for the rest of that night.
Yeah. No, exactly.
I
you
firmly
did. You did.
that was a +1, starting right there.
No, exactly.
So, okay. So, Josh Fletcher, known wakeboarder now.
Yeah.
Bird of Beef. Now that you are a pro hockey player, what are some of your other passions currently right now?
Well, I guess golf's always something I'm trying to get better at as well. If I did that at school, and I do that a lot in the summers, so
Okay.
always I guess we're in the hockey season. It's kind of hard to focus on that, but I like to.
Understandable.
It's kind of something that helps me take my mind away from hockey as well, because it can't always just be hockey. So.
Yeah, same swing, different plane, right?
No, exactly. And if you go the whole winter without swinging, it's going to be a tough time to get into the summer. So.
Oh, yeah.
But-
You've been over to our friends over at Fairways Indoor Golf, haven't you?
No, exactly. Yeah, they treat us good over there. So.
Oh yeah, big
We have
thanks
lots
to
of
them.
fun.
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw any of the Jersey Jerry stuff for the hole-in-one.
Yeah, I did see that.
So how it took him 2,600 shots
Yeah.
to get a hole-in-one, and about the final 1,300 of those were on Pebble Beach, number 7, from 85 yards out. How many shots on a golf simulator does it take Josh Fletcher to get a hole-in-one from 85 yards?
On Pebble Beach or on like a par 3 course?
Any par 3 shot, 85 yards. How long are you there for?
How long am I there for? Like, it took him over 30 plus hours. So, and that's
But
like
that's someone who doesn't play
golf a lot.
golf a lot.
So I would like to think I could get it done in a day. It's a lot of luck as well. Like, I'd like to say
Absolutely.
like get it under 24 hours would be ideal. But I'd like to give myself like a 26-hour range. I feel like it would be like a 24-hour grind, and then the last 2 hours I'd find the momentum of it and
Okay.
get lucky. I
All
feel
right.
like it's luck.
Yeah, a lot of it is luck. A lot of it is luck. And, some people will go their entire lives without getting a hole-in-one, who play golf, religiously. My dad, who now is retired and can play golf as much as he wants to, he already has 7. And he doesn't have one at our home course back in Wake Forest.
That probably drives him crazy, I'm guessing.
I think it does.
Yeah.
He says he has the world record for hole-in-ones on golf holes that don't exist anymore, from courses that have just shut down. But he can still tell you the exact yardage, the tee box, what club he hit, all 7 of them. It's crazy. He loves talking about it and likes to remind me that I don't have any. But it's like I've also only been playing for 4 years.
There's also
and
pros out there that don't have any as well, so
yeah,
don't feel left out.
I don't feel too bad about it.
As long as you're knocking down the handicap
Yeah.
every summer, then you're doing good.
You have your A. Some days you get your A game. Some days you get your B game. I know me and Bobby would have a couple golf matches throughout the summer. Some days he beats me. Some days I beat him. I'm more of a putter than I am anything else. That's where I come in handy.
I could use that. I'm not a good putter.
It's all about consistent stroke. That's all it is.
No, exactly.
I switched from. I tell you what. I switched from the blade to the mallet 2 summers ago.
Yeah.
And my
World of difference.
putting from outside 10 feet, or I would say 8 feet and beyond, insane. Got so much better at lag putting till where I feel like I'm an auto 2-putt. Like, I'm not getting out of there with a 3-putt jack. And if I'm 8 feet and within, I'm confident enough that I think I'm going to make this putt, whether it's a birdie, par, or a bogey.
And that's what you want with your putter. You want it to feel automatic from that range. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really cool. Before we get you out of here, I know you're a big NFL guy.
Yep.
You're a big Buffalo Bills guy.
Oh, yeah. Go Bills.
What did you think about the game this past weekend against the Dolphins?
It started off really tight. I was really nervous, and it came right down to the wire there. That kick return. Well, it was a punt return. Punt return all the way to the house. And
95-yard punt return to tie the game up at 14. And that really kind of flipped the momentum in favor of the Bills. And, one more Josh Allen drive to get up by 7, and Dolphins really could never recover after that. But now, hosting playoff game this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. How are we feeling about that?
I'm feeling confident. You're playing at home. Buffalo's been really good the last few weeks. They've been in a good momentum offensively. The defense has been kind of woken up from the start of the year, so it's kind of good to see that as well. See the whole team working as a full oiled machine, going in, playing a home game in Buffalo against the Steelers, who had a little bit of a shaky season.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
I don't know. And I'm just happy for the Bills to get 4 AFC East championship titles in a row. So,
how far do you think the Bills are going to go this year?
Well,
keep in mind, this is a New York sports bar.
Yeah, you want to see them win the Super Bowl. You can,
yes,
you can
obviously.
take it any year, but realistically, I feel like we could get to the AFC Finals and see, depending who we match up there, if we win that, be a good Super Bowl. So, I personally think coming out of the NFC would probably be San Francisco, but just going to kind of have to see how it goes. The playoffs this year are kind of unpredictable.
I think San Francisco as well will come out of the NFC. I think they've been too good all year long. And I would like the Bills to go to the AFC Championship. I love watching Josh Allen play when he's on. When it's off, it's off.
Yeah.
And it's somewhat hard to watch. But when he's going, I love a quarterback that's not afraid to run. And so I like watching Lamar, and I like watching Patrick Mahomes as well. Travis Kelce was my first pick in fantasy football this year.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys over in the AFC that I had on my fantasy team. So I had some big rooting interests this year. Didn't really pan out too much for me in the end. Finished 6th place, but you know what?
It's better than last place.
Not last.
Yep.
It did not finish last. That is number 1. Started 0-4 and battled all the way back to 6 and 8.
So you're scared about last place at the start of the season?
I was very scared.
That's good management then. That's good management.
I was. If there's a GM of the Year award in our fantasy league, I think I deserve it.
No, for sure. Most improved, best GM.
I made one trade the entire season, and it was James Cook for Mike Evans.
I see. I don't know if I would. Like, you got James Cook?
No, I got Mike Evans
See, as
because
a Bills fan, I won't do that.
I needed a receiver so bad because Chris Godwin at the time was not performing.
That is fair.
He started performing in the tail end of the season. Maybe that's why the Bucs won the NFC South. I had Michael Pittman from the Colts, and my running backs were fine. I picked up A-Chain on the waiver wire.
Yeah,
and then I had ETN.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I really didn't need James Cook.
No.
I need a number 2 receiver.
Exactly.
So that's why I got Mike Evans. And you know what? Didn't finish last. Out of the punishment. Big congratulations to our Josh Williams. He won the Office Fantasy League, beat Coach Sherwood in the finals in a very, very tight matchup. So big congrats all around to Josh winning the Office Fantasy League. We will report on who finished last because there has been some discrepancies. Do you count last place as who finished last in the regular season or who came in last after the playoffs?
So I'm in 2 leagues. My American league, with all my American buddies, they do the regular season.
Okay.
Whoever's in last place. And then if there's a tie, obviously we'd go for like whoever beat each other and then points for, points against. And then the one that I'm with and my Canadian buddies, that one's just playoffs. Like how the playoffs end is how the season ends, which I personally don't really like, but more of the regular season ends, and that's your record.
Okay, so it does vary. All right, so we'll have the league commissioner investigate on how this will be resulted. We're probably going to announce it at the next Black Bears home game. So if you want to find out who has to do a punishment from the Black Bears office, you need to go ahead and grab your tickets at binghamtonblackbears.com. Josh, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I hope it wasn't too bad for you.
Oh, no. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Okay, all right. Well, you didn't have to lie to end the show like that. I understand. But this is forward Josh Fletcher. The Black Bears will be back in town on January 19th and 20th to take on the Danbury Hat Tricks. We're going to be on the road this weekend. We will be live from the Black Bears YouTube page. Big thanks to our friends Doug and Calvin from the Danbury Hat Tricks, who set us up with some great equipment and help us getting up and running as well. So for everybody here tonight at Tully's, Josh on the ones and twos, EJ over on the computer, a Bobby impersonating a waiter, and everybody else here with the organization. My name is Brooks Hill, signing off for tonight's show. We will see you again here at Tully's on January 23rd at 6 p.m. We'll see you at the arena on January 19th for the annual career fair night. So 2:30 to 5:30. Bring your resume to the career fair. You get a free ticket to the hockey game. It's a great deal and a great opportunity to maybe find your next job. So I'm Brooks Hill, signing off. We will see you on the 19th at the next Black Bears home game. Have a good one, everybody.